Isn't this lovely? It's another dry day today. I think we're having a pretty dry week, so we're out and about, and the autumn colours are still in full swing. So I've also brought the big guns, and I brought my DSLR just so I can take pictures of anything nice that I find. Although the sun is kind of struggling, it's somewhere there behind me. Maybe I'll come out later on and give us some nice scenery. But it's still pretty mild, so I have no idea when the first frost is gonna come. It hasn't been just yet. Oh my god, it's so warm. I had to take my jacket off. I think the forest in particular is also a lot warmer than it is outside, and there is no wind today, or hardly any. That was a wren. I think I'm gonna try to make the best of November. Try to cram in as many things as I can before we get lots of snowfall, and it might be a little less comfortable to walk around outside. We really like to come to this small loch because it's usually really quiet and you can hear the birds sing. So it's got a nice, relaxing, meditative atmosphere. Somebody asked in the October vlog that I put up what the river behind me is. It's the River Tay. It runs all along the city of Perth. It sort of loops around all the way around this hill. And it is the longest river of Scotland. It's 120 miles roughly, or anywhere around 190 kilometers. And it's quite pervasive. So a lot of places we go to end up being in and around the Tay. And there's a lot of hill forts along the Tay as well. Because obviously people were able to travel up the Tay via boat. Did the Vikings travel up the Tay as well? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Perth is pretty much the point where you can travel to by ship. So anything that would be quite large, and Perth used to be a medieval harbour as well. Because beyond that, it gets quite winding, and there's a lot of hidden stones in the riverbed and so on. I quite like watching the traffic from afar. Just about anything in miniature, just seeing it from a distance. So for the same reasons, I quite enjoy when I'm on a plane and it's starting and landing. And when you're starting on the plane, everything slowly disappears from you. And when you're landing, you have that brief period of just being able to see from a bird's eye all the places. It's like all the buildings of a city, for example. And I guess for the same reason, flying a drone is appealing too, because you get that same bird's eye perspective, although typically you don't go quite as high up as a plane. And I think for this reason, I also like to go up mountains, just to feel like I can watch the world from afar. And in a paradoxical way, it does help me to being able to deal with it more. Or like, how to put it, to create a desire to be back in the world when I can be outside of it for a while. I just love the color of this tree. A very intense shade of red. It's that time of the year. The sun gets really, really low. Just trying to capture. Oh my god! Trying to capture all the little spider webs that are glistening in the sun. Can you see them? They look really ethereal. I think maybe that's the only way I can describe them. And they're all over the place. The low sun really brings out just how many of them there is. And then of course this beautiful view of the River Erne. It gets even more enticing in winter when the sun is even lower, because then it just looks so beautiful. And everything is bathed in the warm light then. It's looking very pretty today. This is clouds moving by in real time. They're really fast today. Still can't get over how pretty it is. Just with the sky and the green grass. I'm just sitting here on the bench, and just something strangely pleasing about being buffeted around by the wind. I don't know if I've ever felt this way. This is the fate of the ice sculptures. The unicorn lost its horn. Here's a little glimpse into my life. I'm fermenting my own kimchi, and this is so tasty. So I make it with ginger, garlic, and chili. And this jar actually came with a recipe, which is what I'm using. This is the fermentation jar. It's really useful. So I've already eaten some of it. But I've added bok choy and carrot as well. And this is Chinese leaf. I wish you could smell it. It smells so good. And I eat this with my own homemade sourdough bread. You really don't need much to have a good life. There's a nice comfy seat right here on the rock. I am surveying this hill fort. I'm at Moncrief Hill Fort. I'm surveying the hill fort with my drone today. It's a beautiful day. Beautiful sunlight. And such a nice seat. I didn't even know that existed. Look at this pretty light that just came out. This is why I love this time of the year. So this is called the chain walk because you get to walk along the chain. This is the cave that I want to get to. It's not much of a cave, but it's interesting enough. But that chain walk looks intriguing as well. The cave.
It's more like a gorge than a cave.
Yeah, well, the tide is coming in, so we'll have to return via the chain. And I think this must be the part of the chain walk that gets inaccessible when the tide comes up. Ooh, look at this. This cave is deeper than I thought. Don't think it extends much further than this, but wow, look at this. This is all above our heads now. Tons of rock. Okay, now it's time to get onto the chain. Film and hold the chain. Would possibly be that stupid. Nah, probably not me. It's pretty hard. No. Maybe one day I'll do the whole chain walk. It's cold today. I think winter is here. Well, good morning. It snowed in the night. That's a surprise. Here's a place we haven't been to in a while, the House of Brewer and the Brewer Falls. And the House of Brewer is essentially a big, posh department store. And it's massive, and there's even stuff like art and paintings. And lots of tweed. But it's basically on the edge of the Highlands here. It's within the Cairngorm National Park. But there's a beautiful walk right next to it, so we're going to be doing that while the rest of the family is shopping. And I've got a whole video about the Falls of Brewers Walk, so somewhere on my channel you can find it. I'll probably leave an annotation. This is just the right timing. You still have a few leaves left and then a peppering of snow. It's pretty impressive. Here's the sign. And it's a round walk. We have about 2 hours of daylight, so 1.5 miles. I would think we'll manage, allow 1 hour. Can you believe it's still November? This log feels like it's taking forever. We've basically cycled through 2 seasons in the course of a month. We started off with the beautiful bright autumnal colours, and now the snow has already come in. It seems that my vlogs in general are just me documenting the Scottish seasons. I hope if you are not living in Scotland that you enjoy seeing what it's like. Also, I've surpassed 500 subscribers, so thank you for that. Thank you for anybody who's taking part in my life, my uneventful life. Although I do enjoy my life as it is, with all the nature, go up the steps to get a view. But yeah, I do enjoy my life as it is because I enjoy filming nature and sharing it with you and everybody else. Well, here's the first of the waterfalls. So yeah, thank you anybody who's interested in my life. It is a little bit slippery today, the snow is somewhat compacted. So yeah, I do actually want to have more scenes from my everyday life, but I hardly ever remember to film them. But nature I never forget to film just because I enjoy it so much. It's very hard to convey the depth of this canyon and just how big it is because the camera kind of takes it away. But it is really rather magnificent. Well, that's new. This tree has fallen over. Oh, you can get a little bit of a view of the hills. There's a lot of thick cloud today, so all the mountains are enveloped. Here's the second bridge, and this is the upper waterfall. Ooh. It's really nice. As usual, somebody has built a little snowman and a couple more. Oh, I like this is a little family. I do enjoy when people get creative. He's got sticks for eyes and mouth. You get a nice view of the waterfall from this side. Oh, it's really nice. We also found this little mushroom. It's covered in snow. It has a little snow cap. We were just talking about how we're typically socialized to limit our self-expression to the minimum because it could offend somebody else or something like that. So not in the sense where you're being harmful towards other people, but just, I don't know, making funny noises or something like that, singing, dancing, and your parents might say, oh, you're so doing something weird, stop doing that. And it's such a shame. And I just find it really nice that I can do this kind of stuff around my partner and don't feel ashamed of being strange. And I think it's really freeing. I hope that all of you have somebody like who you can be yourself around. I would have expected there to be a lot more people on this walk, but I think everybody's just here to do some shopping and some eating. This is the waterfall you could see from the fenced area earlier on. And that's us pretty much back at the first bridge. It's really nice, relatively short walk. And there's free parking. It's a very atmospheric light at the moment. With the grey subdued sky, I think the sun is starting to set. It's giving it a bit of a warm sheen. And we're gonna go back to the car park now. Kind of like the fairy lights on the trees. It's getting pretty dark now. Especially the star ones over there. Wow. I like that one. We have come back to another place that we've not been to in years. This is near Pitcairn Green. And we are walking towards a burial mound. Actually, it's huge. I was looking at that bit, but it's actually the whole entire mound. You can see the stones on top. We'll get up there just now. But it's a whole big burial mound with multiple cairns. This place features in one of my very early videos. Yeah, so here we are on the top. There's one there, possibly one there. That one's definitely pretty clear. There's one over there. Yeah, so Neolithic, Stone Age, chambered cairns. The one over here is probably the deepest pit. And they have been excavated by somebody, maybe even antiquarians, Victorian archaeologists basically. So there's not a whole lot of information available. There's a place called Cairnton nearby, which probably points to the fact that these cairns would have been known to people. But whatever was in them is probably not there anymore. As you can see, there's a lot of dead bracken. I think this would be very hard to access in the summer because the bracken would have just been in your face. But winter is a good time to come and visit old monuments like that. Obviously when they're not covered in snow, ideally. This is one of these quiet places which have a very strange energy about them. Perhaps people chose this place in the first place because of the energy that I had to put a grave here. And it was my partner who discovered this mound. He was wandering around in this forest and he spotted a sign saying that there's a cairn, and this is the cairn that he found. We have found Berseloch, which is just behind there. There's a coot over there. There's 2 young swans as well. Found a different spot by the loch. It's a bit more open here. The coots are alarming everybody else of a presence. There's this big massive Scots pine. It's got really thick branches. I don't know if it's like a growth on this side, but look at how big and old it is. I think it's appropriate to say hello. Hello, Scots pine. This tree must be maybe 200 years old. Anywhere between 150 and 200 at the very least. There's an oak right next to it as well. It's got its trusty neighbour and companion. The oak is a bit smaller than the Scots pine. So I wonder how long they've been growing here side by side. And I wonder what kind of conversations they've had among each other. You know. What do trees think anyway? There's a morbid topic for you. They will still be here long after we're gone, probably. And I think this whole idea of talking to trees, when I was a teenager, I would have probably laughed at it because I was very much strictly in the logical sphere of only what is logical as possible, something like that. And I didn't believe in ghosts or anything. I still haven't seen a ghost. But as I've become older, I have become more open to different possibilities, different realities, different ways of perceiving things, or even differing perceptions. So I'm just trying to be more open to possibilities. And at the very least, on a scientific level, we do know that trees communicate through pheromones. But who knows what else there is to it.